energy the first day of practice.
It was good. It was fun to be back out there, and the guys worked really hard this summer, and it was good to see them out there running around. They had good energy, and we're ready to roll.
Kyle, with that nickel spot, you guys got a lot of young talent. You kind of rotate them around because of injury last year. Is that a case where you want to keep rotating around, or would you rather have one steady guy in that spot?
I mean, of course, you'd love to have one steady guy, but at the end of the day, we're going to put our best 5 in the field that give us a chance to win every week, and sometimes that may require 2 guys. So we're going to find a way to get our best people on the field in order to be successful.
What is it that JC showed that allowed him to take that spot at the start of last year?
Well, he's strong, he's smart, he's heavy-handed, he's not afraid to tackle, and he can cover. So he had the skill set that we needed.
Who do you guys have working at the nickel spot at the moment right now?
We got a bunch of guys in there working through, and we're going to find out, who the best one is as we go through camp. So today, JC was in there a little bit. RJ, AJ Turner, Jamie Robinson, and Shiloh right now are the ones that work today in there. But we're going to get more guys in there. We're going to find the best 5 and get them on the field.
What does Jamie kind of bring to that position?
Same thing as JC. He's really competitive. He's got heavy hands. He can cover, and he's smart. He's shown the ability to learn nickel and safety, and that's a good skill to have in our defense.
Were you pleased with retention coming off the off-season, spring, summer work, and guys getting right back out at it? It seemed like they just jumped right back into it.
Yeah, they worked hard. We had some time last week with them, but they worked hard throughout the summer, I think, to stay on it. They watched a lot of tape and what we do so that they could be fresh today. And then the more they know at the beginning is more advantage they have knowing about what's coming offensively that can give them, an opportunity to make plays.
It's the first kind of chance to see Shiloh. Just what did you see out of him day one and what you've been able to kind of observe so far?
Really competitive, heavy-handed, wants to do well, wants to be successful. He's got a lot of traits for a successful DB.
What are your expectations for Jemias Williams?
I expect Jan to be a leader. I think we all do as a staff. He's been in the room the longest of anyone. I mean, JT is older, but he's been here the longest, Jam has. And so we expect him to show the way and be the standard of this is how we operate, this is how we meet, this is how we practice, and this is how we play.
Kyle,
Did
with
you mention
Jam.
him in that nickel group? Or is he a guy you're looking at nickel?
I mean, he's played in there before. He wasn't in there today, but he's another guy that can go in there and function and be really good.
Jam mentioned you as kind of a guy who helped sort of guide him as he went through this offseason. What is your guys' relationship kind of like, and what have you tried to sort of impart on him?
But with all of them, I mean, to be honest with you, my job is to help them achieve all their goals and dreams. So whatever I can do to help them be successful, I'll go above and beyond to be that resource for them, of whether it's technique, whether it's fundamentals, whether it's scheme, however I can help them be successful mindset, I'll spend as much time with them as they want to spend with me, just to help them achieve what they want to achieve.
Do you sense that he's motivated by making people kind of remember who he was? He came in as kind of the crown jewel of that recruiting class and hasn't been able to live up to that. Do you think he's motivated by that?
Jam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jam's extremely motivated. I don't know if that's his motivation, but I do know he's extremely motivated and he wants to be successful. And we have a group, in the secondary room period that are all really competitive and all really want to be successful. So it's been really nice, the last day and today of being in this room because they're competitive and they want to be really, really good.
What's the benefit of having a guy like RJ come in and rep there and kind of be a leader, even though he's only a sophomore to some of those younger guys?
Well, again, I mean, he has worked really hard and he's really smart. So, again, it helps a young freshman coming in, seeing RJ playing safety and nickel, seeing JC playing corner and nickel, so on and so forth, so that they understand, like, I can't just learn one spot. I got to learn them all because we got a lot of good players in here and someone's going to get left out.
Kyle, with Jemias having 2 surgeries on the same shoulder, do you see any him holding back anyway, trying to protect that shoulder? Is that something you guys have talked to him about?
We haven't, no. But today we were just in helmets, so we didn't see too much contact that way.
Is that a concern going forward when you guys do put on full pads?
No.
How have you seen JC and Israel and the dynamic they have rub off on the other people?
Well, Coach said it yesterday. Their attitude, their energy, their work ethic is contagious and it's infectious and it's taken over the room. And those two, with some of the upperclassmen, have set the standard for the freshmen. This is how we work, this is how we meet, and this is why it's important.
How often do you get a guy that is as mature as JC was when he first came on campus?
I mean, he's rare. Yeah, it's rare. But, we got a group now. I think these guys are all pretty mature and are the same way. So, and again, part of that maturity comes with the culture of the room. So we have a really good DB culture room right now where we have guys that set the standard and we have guys that are willing to follow the standard.
Jamel Cook is a guy with a lot of accolades. When I look at him, I think that guy's a player. What's standing between him and playing more or playing a lot this year?
Well, he's got to be consistent and got to keep working, and that's the same with all of them. We can't take our foot off the gas in any of them. And the beautiful thing is, in our room right now, we got a lot of guys that can play and a lot of guys that have played, and so the competition's on, and they know that, and so it's across the board. Everyone, I mean, they know they can't take their foot off the gas.
How good of a feeling is that as a coach to see a room with that kind of depth after going through last season when, at times you're just throwing bodies in there?
I mean, it's a great feeling. It's good to have guys that have done it, in the past and have guys that can do it. And we have a mixture of both, and we got, again, a lot of guys that want to do it. So that's, the most important thing.
As a coach, what's your confidence level like when you're in man coverage as opposed to what it might have been like 3 years ago when you were in man coverage?
I mean, it's changed. Yeah, I mean, it's changed, and we got a bunch of corners that we feel comfortable playing man coverage and can cover. And that's not to say we're going to play all man or all zone, but you feel more confident now than I've have since we've been here.
How does that change defensively what you're able to do?
I mean, I think we're going to do what we can do to be successful. So if we need to play man, we'll play man. If we need to play zone, and so on and so forth. But, it does give you a little bit more options about what you can do and what you feel comfortable doing. But
You're still working with the strong sides, correct?
Yep, the Sam's hip too.
Who's kind of in the mix in that group, and what do you kind of think you have?
I mean, right now, Eldridge Thompson, Danny Fennell, Rosendo, and Jamar Brown are all guys that can go in there and play, and they all have different skill sets. And again, it's the same thing as nickel. We're going to find a way to put our best players on the field to be successful, and some of that's determined by who we play and what they do.
With that linebacking core as a whole, Kyle, how do you think that group played last year?
I think, we got to get better, and we all know that, but they competed, and I feel comfortable and excited about where we're going this year.
Do you think some of the struggles were because of the injuries up front on the line?
Yeah, I mean, I think across the board, the injuries, were tough, but last year's done. We're looking forward and we're excited about this year. And today, again, they had great energy, and we'll have great energy tonight in our meetings and working on getting better.
Is there one thing in technique and scheme that you knew you had to fix going into this year, or was it just we got to be better?
Well, we do a thorough self-scout of everything, and that's something that we have worked on, discussed all off season. But it's across the board at every position. We got to get better. That.
Do you like having kind of that, I guess, Swiss Army knife set of strong side linebackers where some of them might be a little more natural pass rusher, some more a little coverage, big guy like Rosendo? Or would you rather say we hope that maybe one guy can emerge as someone who can do just sort of all of it?
Well, I think it's good to have versatility at all positions, and that position too, because sometimes we're going to need a bigger body, and sometimes we're going to need someone that can cover. So to have guys that have skill sets that can do either or both, that's good.
What's it been like watching Eldridge and Danny come back from the injuries the way they have?
They worked extremely hard this spring and this off season of getting their bodies ready, and they ran around today good, and it's good. It's exciting to have them back out there with us.
How different of a player is Rosendo from the guy last season?
Same thing. He worked extremely hard this off season. I think he's ready to roll. Yeah.
What about Rosendo's skill set makes him a kind of a quality Sam? I know he took some reps at Mike last year.
Yeah, and he's going to still get some time in there too, but strong, physical, can do what we need him to do there.
Back to the nickel, how much have you seen the importance of just that position in general sort of grow? Seems like it's on the field, not all the time, but a lot more than it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, you see so much more 10, 11 personnel. The offense of game has become a spread game. So to do that and match up, you don't want to have big people out there when they got fast people. So it's really important nowadays to have guys that can go in there and cover, but you still got to have them to tackle and play in the run.
You mentioned some of the guys you have in there more heavy-handed. There was a position that was occupied by smaller guys, Jam and Chris, early on. How important is that sort of shift to get maybe more of that heavy-handed tackler, edge setter in that spot?
Well, and I think those guys were able to do it fine too. I mean, it's about technique, but having heavy hands is nice to have at any position in football, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your thoughts on Olivier, however you say his last name, since you guys got to have him out there?
Yeah. It's good to have a veteran here, that's done it in games, and like Coach said yesterday, he'll be a valuable member of the team.
How much of a bonus is it for you guys on the special team side with the depth this team has built? Coach Muschamp talks about that depth a lot, and I assume there's a big payoff, especially on that front.
Yeah, of course, man, and we got spots and ways to start on special teams, and so it's extremely competitive. And I'll say our team has been extremely competitive through the off season, through the summer, and through fall. Like, we got guys that want to play, and so they know they got to compete across the board. Everyone's got to earn their spot. That's one of the staples of our program.
Hutz has been very vocal about how blocking a punt leads to a win. How much do you guys work on that? How much is that an emphasis on what you want to do?
It's a big emphasis. Yeah, it's a big stat in football, and it's something we're going to get after and try to do.
Is that something that you like maybe recruit volunteers to be that guy, to be that punt blocker?
Yeah, I mean, we identify them early, and we'll go through that and find out who the guys are that we feel can get there and do that job.
Any top candidates right now?
We hadn't gone through it yet. Man, we got guys, I think, earmarked, but we'll go through it and see, who shows up. We got a bunch of good guys to look at, and let's see who wants to do it.
With A.J. Turner potentially playing offense and defense, do you try to limit his special team snaps, or is he too valuable to you to give up?
I mean, he's a valuable member of the team. He's got a unique skill set, and I'll tell you, he's as competitive as they come. Selfless, team-first guy. So he's going to do whatever we need to do to help the team win. And so I think he would tell you this, he'll take as many snaps as he needs to on offense, defense, and special teams to help us win.
He estimated that he could play 65 to 70% of all snaps in a game. Would you feel comfortable with a player doing that, with him doing that?
I mean, he's competitive. So, yeah.
You mentioned 10 and 11 personnel. When you're in the recruiting process, how important is versatility and I guess speed when you're trying to find defensive backs? You can kind of match up with speed of your guys.
Yeah, I mean, speed never has a bad day. So that's one thing obviously we look at. But, we want to find guys that can compete and can cover and can run and will hit and try to find the whole group. And I think we've done a good job of making our DB room that. So guys that can cover and guys that are competitive.
I guess you probably can't get too much of a feel for kick return guys, but who's back there today?
And we're going to compete and go through it, yeah. So, we're excited. Shy, I think, is the guy that can do it. I think AJ can do it. And we got to look at the freshmen and kind of see where we're at with that.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Appreciate you guys.